Welcome back to Mindshift Mechanics. Previously, we talked about VLOOKUP, if statements, and now we're going to talk about mastering the art of list creation. And we're going to make it dynamic. But before there was list, there was manual typing. Nothing wrong with this, but there's always that chance for human error. And that's where a list would come in. Go to C11, go to Data, Data Validation, List, and within the source, you can do it one of two ways. You could type out math, English, or science, or you can highlight the cells with those in it. Here, I'm just going to type it out. And as you can tell, they are separated with a comma. Just go ahead and drag it down. This is a good way, but doesn't make it dynamic. Now let's create it dynamic. And with a dynamic list, I like to create a new sheet called the engine. Go ahead and highlight these cells and convert it into a table by going to Insert, Table. Here, it's asking if my table has headers. As you can tell in row 9, I have category. That is my header. I also like to name my table. Next, we would go to Formulas, Name Manager, New, and the category, we're going to add list to it. Here, as you can tell, it already picked up the table classes. However, it's also picking up row 9 in the category. We don't want that. So let's remove everything but classes. Hit OK. Hit close and go back to data. Here in D11, we're going to go back to data, data validation, list, and in the source, we're going to do equals category list. Enter. Let's go ahead and carry it down. As you can tell, here's your math, here's your English, here's your science. Now you're probably asking me, how does this make it dynamic? Well, if we go back to the engine and we add art and see a history. Go back to data. You can tell it automatically populates it. Now, one thing in mind, if you have a category already set up in the dynamic range and you already chose it for a specific cell, you can't just go in there and assume you can change it like this. As you can tell, it remained art. So you have to go back in here and change it manually. But let's do that easy. So let's assume this was science. And we wanted to change all science to Florida. The easiest way is to highlight the column, go to Home, go to Find and Select, go to Replace. We're looking for science. We want to replace it with Florida. And it's asking us within what? We got sheet or workbook. In this case, it's just going to be the sheet we're working on, data sheet. Search by rows or search by columns. We're going to do it by columns. And we're going to say replace all. It said they found 2 replacements and they automatically changed it to Florida. That's the end of mastering the art of list creation Please stay tuned for the next session.